Okay, so this is my plan. I like this. When I get to it, I have the most magnificent garden out of that. This has been, to me, worthless. I've done cardboard boxes in here, which are short-lived and they don't do well. It's a waste to do a cardboard box. I've done buckets in here with potatoes, but then I gotta lift everything over. It doesn't keep rabbits out, it doesn't do anything. It only gives them places to hide. The same thing with here, though I'll probably keep that one right now. I would say, if you get rid of the railroad ties, or whatever they are, the wood.
Yep.
Okay, and then keep the racks, because you said those are out of a refrigerator or shelving or something. We may be able to use that for something someday, anything. And get rid of everything for these two. That's what I'm looking at. This is what I've been thinking about. And then I'm going to go with either chairs continued. I think anything on the ground, I might get rid of the ones on the ground and do chairs or anything elevated and make a raised bed, because this wall is going to give me for watermelons and melons and things that love the heat for the winter, for the summer, because our summers are just not warm enough at night to sustain the fruit to grow, not for long enough. Is that a plan?
Yeah, that's a plan.
Okay, now this way I think it's going to be far better. I mean, yes, I can grow Swiss chard. I've got walking onions. I got a moringa growing, but it's in the tote. But the problem is I grow this stuff like weeds everywhere. And walking onions, I've got thousands of them, so I don't have to worry about that. But as far as squash, I can't grow squash. I can't grow cucumbers here because the squirrels just come in and take it all away, and I can control my totes. I have been inside working on a video on a fountain, and I just came out, and you have been really busy. What'd you do while I was inside?
Well, I started clearing some of this stuff and sorting it, and I cleared the wall over there, got that ready to move those. The frames here are going over there, so I'll get these moved over.
You know, like we just talked about this morning. Boy, you're quick. I went in, I'm trying to get some clips for a video, and I guess once I said I wanted that, I gave you the okay and the go ahead.
Yeah, because I didn't want you to change your mind, so get it done, and then it's done.
What it is now that I've said I don't want this vertical gardening here, for me it's not working, he wants it. So he was like, yeah, okay. So he ran out here this morning. You've been out here a couple hours, and I can't believe the transformation. I'll tell you in a second what's going on and why he's moving all this. Besides the hoop, I don't know what you want to call this, vertical gardening, I'll tell you that. But here you've cleaned up off. Wow, you got more logs?
Yeah, they're kind of tucked in the back. I just lifted the canopy of the plants, and all this stuff is buried under the plants. So I wanted to tidy that up.
And look at all the pomegranates. Oh my goodness, you couldn't get to all this before it was all overgrown.
Yeah. So.
And look at the cactus that I brought home. Can you imagine? What, 6 years ago? Maybe 7 years ago, I brought home a cactus pad because there were no thorns on it. There's still no thorns.
Yeah, it's a thornless. You just have to be a little careful because it's still going to have a couple of thorns, but it's pretty much thornless.
Yeah, I told you what happened. I think they heard it years ago. I was so excited. I saw it laying on the side of the road, and I stopped and picked it up. And there were no thorns. I came and I stuck it in the ground. And then the same place, I saw another one, and I stopped the car, jumped up and grabbed it. That one wasn't thornless. I left that one. I had thorns on my hands and everything. So it's the only one. It starts with thorns, and then it loses it. It has nothing. I'm just amazed. Let me tell you what's going on. So you all know that I decided I don't want this. I'm changing it up. And let me tell you something. Some of you that have said you're all upset, you should be covering it with shade. Whoa, I missed that. That was big. It was a big hawk. Shade cloth and all that. Here is the thing. Shade cloth isn't going to do what I wanted it to do. I wanted a tunnel with vegetables hanging down and everything. For me, it won't work because I've got this hillside right next to my plants, and the squirrels are in there and they nest in there.
It gives them cover so they can run from here to there real quick without being in the open too much.
So what they do is they quickly jump on this thing, eat the ends of my plants, and then they take off. And I just don't want to deal with it. There's no reason to, because what I want to do is grow food. So he can use this, and I don't want to cover it. If I was going to cover it, well, it would defeat the whole purpose of what I wanted. So that won't work. And then I talked to somebody about covering the whole thing with 1/4-inch wire. It was going to be like $1,000, $2,000 for somebody else to do it. And even for us to do it this big, and then you'd have to bury it in the ground and all this, wasn't worth it. So it's changed. You know what's coming. 2 dog kennels. I'm keeping that one. I love it. And I want 2 dog kennels put together here. You'll see it as we go. But there's other changes. Let me walk over here. Look at this. He's been cleaning. Look at our neighbor gave us that. They bought a couple of them and they said they had an extra one. Do you want it? And I wasn't even sure what it was. And that looks really nice. I can hide the stuff I'm not using right now.
Yeah.
So what I said this morning, let me walk over here, is, you know, I've got all those totes, which I really never got to this year. And that's fine because I got to my chair garden and so many other things around here. And I was working with turmeric and fountains and gardening and everything. Was I told Gary years ago, he put the wood there. It was here, it was scrap wood. It was at the house here. And he put these boxes together. And there was another one there. So I planted multiple things in there. I planted in the ground. It didn't work. And with this wall, there's a large footing that comes out. How many feet does it come out?
6.
So 6 feet. Okay, so it comes out about 6 feet. So up to, let's say, here, there is a large cement footing. So you've got anywhere from, I don't even know, 6 inches of soil. Maybe a little bit more with the buildup. So I never could really grow in the ground that good. So then when he had that built, I had totes in there. That didn't work. I had cardboard boxes in there because they break down and they cause so many earwigs and slugs and snails. They hide in the cardboard. It's just not worth it when you can get a tote for $6. And you know what? You want a tote for $5? Go to Dollar Tree. Those are big enough too, and they are fantastic. I've been growing squash and stuff in there. So I had totes in there. That didn't work, so the totes came out for a while. Then I was really early on. Then I had buckets in here, and I was growing potatoes. But I had to lift the heavy buckets over so I can dump them. Got tired of that. Plus, the squirrels were going in there. See how much cover they get when everything grows over? They were jumping in there, and they were eating all my potato greens and everything, so that didn't work. So I haven't done too much. And so it was either last night or this morning. He said it was this morning. I walked out here with him and I said, you know what? I don't need these. I would be better off to run some more totes on chairs all the way to, maybe I'll leave that one where I grow a lot of cucumbers and things in that one with the 3 totes on the bottom, 2 totes on the top. But get rid of these 2 completely right now. With the fencing, keep the fencing. It's shelves or whatever from someplace else that he put there, and just run totes. Not even maybe on the ground. I have to keep the holes up because the trees send their roots in and they rob and kill the plants, literally. We'll get into that more again another time. So I step in the house to go work on a video, and then all of a sudden I come out here and like everything is gone to move the tunnel.
Yeah, so the tunnel, I'll just get it set up for next year for pumpkins.
In your garden?
In my garden.
Oh, well, outside your garden.
My garden.
And then in the meantime, I can still continue to get rid of all this. I probably will go up to that pole, but I might even take some more from there. And then here, I'll set them up either on chairs, or that was the other thing. You said, well, why not move this since it's already here and set up, and move that, which holds quite a few totes, and off the ground there. And I won't have to worry about roots. So that's what's going on today. And like I said, I'm just sharing this with you. Friday, I was going to run with a video on a fountain. I'm trying to get a couple more clips of some birds drinking out of it because I literally just threw it together. So I didn't even know he was going to do this. But it actually looks good. I'm really, really happy with that. This will be cleaned up. I used to grow squash there, but that was before all the elephant food and the pomegranate trees I planted. I might be able to do something there. I don't know what. It's very shady. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's, again, you're up against plants, which means squirrels can come in and they've got plenty of cover.
All right, so I'll clear all that out. You found a couple more chairs that were hidden around, and I'll decide if I'm going to go with chairs. But so you're going to put both of these with the cement blocks, and that was a furnace cover.
The 2 together is 11 feet. So that's a length of 11 feet. They could be separated off. One's 6 and one's 5. So there could be a space in between.
Well, I'm wondering if there's a space. I've got the tote there with the moringa, and I really like the moringa growing there. You could put one there and then one on the other side. How about that? Will that work, or is it not enough room or too big?
The space that's there right now isn't quite enough room.
It's not enough room for one?
Oh, for one it is.
For one?
Yeah, for one.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe put one, and if I have a little extra space, I can put another chair with a tote. And then everything's off the ground. That creates a lot of heat, and I can grow watermelon and melons in the summer because we get too cold at night and we lose a lot of that. It doesn't have enough heat in the day to grow a lot of different things that I want to grow. Our temperature has changed a little bit. Sometimes it works, but I used to grow a lot of watermelon in there, just in 2020, 2021, and now it seems like it stays too cool. Now, it could be also the pepper tree shades a little bit more, and maybe those trees back there are creating a little more shade, but we're also cooler at night in the summer lately. We're not staying as warm. But the wall creates so much heat that my goal this year, and I never got to it, was to plant watermelon, Korean melons, who knows, different melons along there, along with some other squash, and now I'll have the opportunity to work all winter because now's the time I want to start collecting stuff from the ground and leaves from the trees to make my own soil so it's free, and that is Mother Nature's style instead of buying so much. So you can put one of those sets there.
Yeah, towards which end? To the left or to the right?
Towards the right, so I can get one more chair in so it looks a little more balanced. Yeah. Not that it will make a difference, but if you did move it over, you'll see when you put it there how much, you do want some space. I think I'm going to take all the totes, I'm still thinking. Every chair that's set up over there has a tote in between. And it got overgrown with onions and garlic chives and everything, covered it up, and there's even geraniums that I think I might trim out. But I think I would rather have all the chairs up because I have these new ideas I'm going to run with this spring that is going to probably keep everything out that I've been going after, that I've been trying to chase out. I think I've got an idea, 2 of them, that is going to keep them out as long as I have control over it. So I think if you can move it over, I might be able to get one more chair, and if not, that will be fine. If it's balanced, because we want a little space. Put the other set there, and if I have to, I'll put a chair.
Yeah. How close to the moringa do you want it? You want a little bit of space?
Yeah, a little bit of space, because see where all the chairs are back here? Let's walk over here for a minute. I'm seriously thinking of moving those totes, because I don't want a ton of color through here. I want to leave it more natural. See all the totes in between? Though I could move them closer, I'm thinking of getting rid of that, because it's creating places for things to hide behind the totes, or at least butt up in the corner. But if I open up those spaces, the plants will be able to bush, and I'll be able to maintain it all the way around. And I don't need that many totes there. So I'm going to start taking those and moving them there. So think about, unless I change my mind again, the space I'll have between those totes. I could move them, but I think it's going to be a bigger hassle.
Start it, say, here somewhere, with maybe a foot.
Yeah, it could even be a little bit more. The moringa's just there because it's there. It may not even winter well.
Just an idea.
Yeah. Now you have to level the soil out, don't you, or something?
Yeah, that's easy enough to level out. You just follow the line of the concrete blocks.
Okay. So one of those things that you've got under the tunnel that will come here, then this is just going to remain. I'm going to slowly go through with the wheelbarrow and start taking out and cleaning and freshening it up, because everything growing in there right now, which is fantastic. I've got walking onions, garlic chives, and Swiss chard. I had peppers in there, but they got too hot. They burned, and I had to grab and get them out of here. But squash and stuff, I will start to empty out a lot, not the whole thing, load it up with all the yard cleanings of leaves and branches and stuff, and then top it back with this. In the meantime, all the earthworms and microbes will move through, and then come spring, I'm not out here thinking, oh, it's planting time. Well, let's redo all the totes, and by then I'm exhausted. I'll have it all done all winter, and I'll continue it down with those because you've got it. It doesn't have to be chairs. I think that will be good. Maybe just one in the middle here, and then the other one there, and maybe no chairs down here. I mean, technically, I'll be honest, that tote can move. There is no roots in the ground on that one. See how high the holes are? Yeah, the moringa just came up on its own. Yeah, set it up there and we'll look at it. And I think that's going to be good. So we'll have one there, one there. You're planning on keeping that one right now?
Well, for now, these will be potted up into a pot or something. They're in the ground, I think.
Yeah, they are in the ground. I planted some.
I'll dig those out, put them in a pot. A couple other plants maybe I'll think about putting in a pot. Or maybe compost, I'm not sure. But once I start clearing some of this out, I'll have a better idea of what's in there. And then I'll do this another day.
I think that would be good. And don't over worry about the Swiss chard. It comes up like weeds here. The walking onions would be nice to keep. But that could be slid either way. That's just sitting there. There was celery. Look how far it collapsed. I didn't even plant anything in there. The celery came up on its own and the moringa came up on its own. And if it makes it, it might make it here because it's up against the wall. Yeah, I'll build it up though.
The one I'm thinking of trying to save is the green Swiss chard.
I like green. Oh, because you like green Swiss chard over the red. I do too. All right. Well, if you want to and nothing to lose, if it doesn't save, then we'll compost it. I think this is going to be great. Easier to maintain, and now I'll use it. It's just been a spot that's been like, oh, okay, my potatoes got chewed up, or I got to lift the bucket up. Yeah, I think this can. I like the openness.
Close to the water. It's good to have it close to the water supply.
Oh, the hose.
The hose, yeah.
And the hose is a 100-foot hose.
Yeah, the hose goes all the way down there. But,
yeah.
You know, this is a shorter distance.
And then eventually we'll get rid of the stuff way down in the driveway. And I'll decide where I want to do it. Those big totes, these are big. These are like 30, 40 gallon ones. I might leave those, but I might move the black ones later. I'll kind of see as I get down there. I'm not there, but definitely all those down there. Boy, if I can find someplace else for the upside down planters, and I don't want to lean them up on the new kennels because that will create more critters to come in, even insects. I want the kennels that we're going to put up here to be freestanding. Don't you think that would be better?
Yeah, it would be better if they're freestanding and it's clear all the way around. So if anything comes in, they'll be nervous about coming in.
Well, even insects.
Insects, yeah.
If I took those, which would be really nice, and butt them along the side on the outside, then if insects get in there, they'll be looking. And this is going to be covered. I have another way of covering it, and I think it's going to look really good. And I don't think I'm going to paint the wire black. I don't think I need it. It doesn't bother me being silver, but I know if you paint it black, you can see right in, but it doesn't matter to me. I want to just be able to go in there and hang out and know, and you can walk in there, that everything is covered from any types of critters and nothing will get in there. I mean, it's sad. Goodbye, tunnel. But I think it's going to be really good, and then I'll see how far. See, I wanted to do corn in this. I've done that before. And if I clear this out in the winter, I can put corn in those big ones or something else. But I think I'll decide later how far. And then, like I said, that's going. Okay, that's good. Well, that was a change. That was a quick change. And I'm still working on my video. Hopefully that goes up tomorrow. All right. I think it's good. You like it? And you're sure you want my tunnel?
Yeah, and that will be in a more open space too. There'll be plenty of room around it. Where the idea of where I'm going to put it, it's going to be in more of an open area.
Cool. And I don't have to worry about gophers. We do have gophers. So anytime anything's up on a chair, I don't have to worry about it. Gophers, though, cannot chew in a tote. Keep that in mind. See, the only thing that can get into this tote that's on the ground would be roots, tree roots, or rabbits and squirrels and rats or mice or whatever want to get in there. But when it's open, then they have to run. And this has never had too many problems like that. My problem could be goldfinches coming in and eating some of the squash. But all in all, those do good when they're planted, and I just let them do their thing. I was harvesting all spring and summer with what was growing from last year, but I think it'll be nice to continue it on to here, and then I'll clean that up too, and then I'll decide later on. Okay, well, that was a surprise. I'm going to go back and see if I can finish my video. So with that, have a wonderful day. Don't forget to eat what you grow. And anything else you want to say?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Have a good weekend.
Have a wonderful weekend. It's such a beautiful day. They said it's going to get hot. We'll see, but look at the sky. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a great day. And don't forget again to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. I should grow a lot of stuff here.